As discussed in a previous presentation, the widespread adoption of web technologies for personal and business usage has exposed data and information to risk. Business operations are more vulnerable, and the costs associated with the protection of data, information, software, hardware, and humans have greatly increased. The proliferation of e-commerce oriented organizations incorporating financial transactions in web-based transaction processing systems has stimulated research into new methods and technologies designed specifically to protect data on the web. Wireless connection to the web and intranets allow sniffers to locate hotspots to illegally access personal or business networks. The potentially enormous cost of accidental damage or deliberate interference can affect many organizations and/or individuals concurrently. A starting point for understanding business information security is the CIA triangle: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Confidentiality refers to the requirement for a set of rules that limits access to information. Data must be confidential to the parties who have authorization. Think of you and your doctor. It is understood that the data and information shared during consultation with your doctor remains confidential to just you and your doctor. Confidentiality is broadly equivalent to privacy. Measures applied to ensure confidentiality are designed to prevent sensitive information from reaching the wrong people, while making sure that the right people can access it. Access must be restricted to those authorized to view the data in question. Examples of methods used to ensure confidentiality are user IDs, passwords, and data encryption, all of which will be discussed later in this presentation. A piece of data can be confidential, but if it is not accurate, then it is of little use. Integrity involves maintaining the consistency, accuracy, and trustworthiness of data over its entire life cycle. In particular, security measures must be applied to ensure data is not changed in transit, and steps must be taken to ensure that data cannot be altered by unauthorized people. Examples of the methods used to ensure data integrity include file permissions, user access controls, and the maintenance of data change histories. Each of these will be discussed later in this presentation. Finally, the third principle of the CIA triangle is availability. For any information system to achieve its purpose, the information generated by the system must be available when it's needed. This means that the computing systems used to store and process the information, the security controls used to protect the information, and the communication channels used to access it must function correctly. It is sometimes jokingly said that 100% information security is feasible as long as the computer is stored in a bunker surrounded by a meter-thick wall, and that the computer system should be turned off. In these situations, the information is secure, but it is not available. Certainly, a key purpose of information security is to stop attacks, but this must be balanced against ongoing need for the business to be able to access the information in a timely fashion. Security should certainly not stop the business meeting its objectives. Indeed, it should not unnecessarily slow it down. A good security system should be as transparent as possible, and it should facilitate, not impede, the functions of a business. So, how can business protect data on the web? Technologies supporting the protection of data on the web include: authentication is the process by which a person accessing a system proves who they are. A strong authentication protocol usually requires two means of identification, for example, password and a security token. Good passwords should be easy to remember but hard to guess. A security token is typically a small electronic device that displays numbers on the small screen. For example, an e-banking device. The number changes periodically, the sequence of which is only known to the authenticating servers. These means of authentication may be combined with biometric data, for example, the user's fingerprint. Authorization refers to the process whereby a person gains access only to the resources that they are entitled to use. This can be achieved using access control lists and permissions, which specify which users or system processes are granted access to objects and what operations are permitted on those objects. Verification refers to processes to recognize if data has been altered without authorization. Approaches include the use of a message digest, a unique data fingerprint of a message or file created using a hashing algorithm which would change if the data has been tampered with. An audit trail can also be kept. a security relevant chronological record, set of records, and/or destination and source of records that provide documentary evidence of the sequence of activities that have affected at any time the data held. Encryption is arguably the most effective way to achieve data security. To read an encrypted file, you must have access to a secret key or password that enables you to decrypt it. Encryption approaches include symmetric key encryption and public key encryption. Firewalls. Protective mechanisms such as firewalls act as a buffer to ward off intrusion into a private network. This is particularly important in internet-to-internet communications. Firewalls and network access controls automatically monitor traffic using intrusion detection systems. Users are only able to access information systems when they are authorized to. Restrictive firewall parameters can be adopted so that all services are denied unless specifically permitted. Individuals who intend to cause damage to system hardware, software, and data are generally called hackers. They write programs that damage computer systems or provide them with unauthorized access to systems. A computer virus attaches itself to a program and is subsequently loaded into the memory of a computer with that program. The virus is programmed to copy itself into programs that don't contain a copy of it. The virus program is designed to alter or distort data and slowly grows, reproducing itself to occupy storage devices and move from machine to machine or network to network. Each time an infected program is loaded as part of normal computer operations, the virus is activated and attempts to copy itself again. IT systems incorporate mechanisms to respond to all virus attacks, destroy any viruses detected, repair damage, and document each incident. These mechanisms will automatically detect and rectify emails containing attachments affected by known viruses. Best practice antivirus software should be acquired, installed, and maintained on computer systems. A denial of service attack, or DOS attack, is an incident in which a user or organization is deprived of the services of a resource they would normally expect to have. In a distributed denial of service attack, large numbers of compromised systems, sometimes called botnets or zombies, attack a single target. Victims can opt to block the originating IP addresses. Security tools now exist to detect and prevent such flood attacks, and web servers can be configured to detect and block HTTP request attacks. You should understand that in this presentation, we have barely scratched the surface of the world of IS/IT security. As a business graduate, you will have to rely heavily on your IS/IT professionals to put in place all the security technologies we have presented today. It is essential, however, that you are aware of the threats that must be faced and of the types of security technology that are available so that you can work together with your IS/IT professional in order to assure the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of your data resources. Okay, I'll see you next time.